Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 ways to help you become a better observer. One of the most important elements and the foundation around Dr. Maria Montessori's work and principles is around the act of observing. And you hear this a lot in the community or maybe even on social media, observe the child, observe the child. So what does that mean? And how can an adult become a better observer to be able to see the things that they need to see in order to prepare the environment for your child, prepare yourself, and be able to see what developmental stage your child is in. Observation is a skill. It's something that you develop over the course of your life. It's something that we need to practice. There's different types of observations. There's direct observation and indirect. Direct is when you are directly looking at your child, looking at them and watching them to see what they're doing. Indirect observation is when they are in the home or in the room and you're sort of keeping an eye on them and you're able to do other things in the house or in the classroom, wherever you are, but you're still paying attention to the child in an indirect way. One of the most important things is being an objective observer. So how do we become an objective observer? Well, Dr. Maria Montessori, she did medical training. She was a doctor before working with children and before even, developing all of the findings that she discovered. And as a medical doctor, she was trained to have to be a very good observer and note taker in an objective way, in a scientific way. So when we're looking at our children, we almost want to switch our mindset from being emotional or subjective, which would mean that we react in an emotional way. We want to switch over to being more objective. So that means seeing exactly what is happening in front of us. And one way to help practice and develop this objective observation skill is to write. So if you have a book or a pen, I challenge you to take this book and pen and sit down in a room with your child or your children and just observe and see what you see. So for example, what I would write and what I would see my 9-month-old doing, for example, would be right now she's really liking to stand up, pull herself up and push chairs around the house, a lot of movement. So the things that I would write down would be, okay, standing right leg up, then left leg up. Right hand on the chair, then left hand on the chair. Pushing forward, right step forward, left step forward, knee back down, left knee down, back to sitting, turning around, rotating, crawling back to wherever she's going. So that type of language you can practice at home by simply writing it down first. And this is what Maria Montessori did. She wrote and wrote and wrote. All of her findings and her notes are now published in books. And that's how she was able to discover and to see what stage and what was happening to the children as they developed in different periods. First thing you can do at home, take a paper and a pen, sit down in a room and write down objectively what you are seeing your child doing. That will start to help you practice, and as you write and you look back on your notes, you'll be able to see, oh, maybe is the chair too high or too low? It'll give you an idea of how to adjust the environment, because there's so much focus now on the toys that you need to be buying for certain months that your toddler or your baby is in, Montessori toys and wooden items. But really what your job is you have to be a good observer to be able to know what your baby or what your child needs. The second thing that you can do to help you become a better observer, to facilitate and to prepare the environment properly, is to observe yourself. So what I've been doing every day is I have a journal, and I write in my journal the thoughts that, just whatever thoughts come to mind at the end of the day. I find I like doing it before going to bed, and it's just 5 minutes every day, and I write down, you know, how I'm feeling, maybe something that happened in the day and how I reacted. Anything that is cluttering my mind, I have to get it down on paper so I can start the next day fresh. If you're carrying all of these worries and anxieties and clutter in your mind, then you will not be able to observe your children, because you'll be distracted by other thoughts. So grab a journal for yourself, and the first journal will be for writing, just to see what your child is doing in the day. The second journal that's for your own personal journal. So you can either do it by hand, or if you prefer to type, that's another way. I just really like using my hand, because we just don't do that very often anymore. So again, journaling, writing, decluttering your mind so you can have a peaceful mind when you're with your children at home. And that will help you to, like I said, be less distracted, so you can observe and watch and see what your children are doing and what needs to be adjusted in the environment. And then you'll know what you need to go out and buy or order or whatever. And I'll do separate videos on the different items and Montessori practical life items that you could have in your home that are just absolutely simple and amazing and beautiful. The third thing that you want to practice doing to become a better observer is being completely silent. You want to be quiet. And one way of doing this is to help silence your mind, to help practice not talking, not thinking, is either meditation or just sitting still with your eyes closed for a few minutes a day, getting into a practice to help you be quiet. Because a lot of the times when our children or our babies are in our presence, we want to talk with them, we want to comment on what they're doing. We think that's a way to help develop their language, by talking and talking and talking to them. But this is a huge distraction when they are trying to work so hard and just, be and move, and whatever stage that they're in, it takes so much mental power and concentration on their part. Any sound, any comment is going to distract them, and it will break that concentration. So being silent and practicing being quiet is the third way that you can help yourself become a better observer. I hope that you can practice and implement these 3 tips to help you become a better observer, because really you don't need anything in an environment. The most important element in a Montessori environment is you. You need to be the prepared adult for your children. You can have all the toys, all the things that you can imagine in your home, but if you are not prepared yourself as a parent, none of it will work. Everything starts with you. So I hope that this was helpful. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you've tried implementing these observing tips. If you have other ways to help you become a better observer. I love reading and responding to your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.